Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to talk about the date and time functions. Date and time functions enables the users to work with the date and time values, perform calculations, and extract the components such as the year, month, day, hour, minute, and second. There are some functions which we'll be using and which we'll be looking at in the Power BI, working with the date and time functions. The first one is the date. Date is used to create a date value. Now you have to enter the year, month, and the day, and it would create a date value. Then we have the year. So what it would do is that whenever you pass a column inside this year, it would extract the year out of it. Then we have the month, which would basically extract the month out of any date value. Then we have the day, which would be used to extract the day out of that date value. Then we have the hour, minute, and the second, which are used to extract the hours, minutes, and second from any timestamp or some time values. Then we have the function today, which would be used to create the value of the date of today. Then we have the now value, which would be used to return the current date and time. Then we have the date difference, which would be used to find out the difference between two date values. Now, suppose you are working with a superstore data set and you have this order date and shipping date, and you want to find out the difference between when was the order placed and when was the order shipped, basically finding out the shipping time. So in that case, we will be using the date difference function. Then we have the calendar, which would be used to return a single column of dates in form of a table. So let's go to the Power BI screen and see how can we use these functions. Right now I'm working with this orders table and there are multiple columns inside that. I have deleted few columns in order to make some space and in order to see some data over here, which is not required right now. Now we have this particular column of order date and shipping date. Order date contains the dates on which the order was placed and the shipping date contains the date on which the shipping was done for that particular order. Now let's say that you want to use these two columns to find out some information. For example, you want to extract the day out of it or month out of it or the year out of it. How would you do it? So I'll go to this home option. Over here, I will click new column. This would create a new column for me. Now let's name this column as test column because I don't want to rename it again. What I'll do is I will name it as test column and all the functions that we'll be testing, everything would be appearing over here. Now, the first function that we are going to work is the date function. When I write date and press tab, it would ask me the year, month, and day. Basically, it is asking me to give three values in the form of year, month, and day. So over here in the year, I will provide as 2026, comma, month I will provide as 11, comma, day I will provide as 15, and I will close the bracket. Now what it would do is it would create a column and in that column, all the values would be 15th of November 2026. You can see over here 15th of November 2026 and it has given me all the dates in a single column. Now these are repeated values. Now let's say how can you use it? So for example, that you are working on a specific date and you want to find out the interval of it from any other date. For example, this specific date is there and you want to find the interval between this date and the order date or shipping date maybe. So then in order to do that, what you can do is you can create a new column. And over here, you can easily find out difference between these two date values. Now again, let's say if you are having this order date and you want to extract the day out of it, month out of it, or year out of it, how would you do it? So the next function is the year function. So for example, first I will clear this. Over here, I will write year, press tab, and in bracket, I will provide this order date. Now, the way to provide this is first we have to find out in which table it is right now. So it is right now in the orders tables. First, I have to write orders. After that, I have to select this order date. Then I can close the bracket and press enter. You can see in our test column, it has extracted all the years out of this column. So since it is a row based operation, that is why we are creating a new column over here. Now in a similar way, we have extracted the year out of it. Let's say if you want to extract the month out of it. So what we have to do is in place of year, you just have to write month. The other part of the syntax won't be changing if you are working for the same column. After doing that, you need to press enter and it would extract the month for you. Then in a similar way, if you want to extract the day out of it, so in place of month, you can write day and press enter. It would extract the day value for you. So for example, over here, the value was 13th December 2012. So it has extracted 13. Over here, the second value was 6th of April 2014. So it has extracted 6. 20th November 2013. So it has extracted 28 out of here. Now, for example, when we were working with this, now we will look back at it and see that, let's say that we are trying to extract the month out of it, but that month was coming in form of numbers. So over here, when I was trying to extract the month out of it, press enter, it was extracting the month, but it was extracting it in the form of numbers. For example, if we are talking about December, it was giving the value as 12. If we are talking about April, it is giving us the value of 4. But I don't want to extract like this. What if I want to extract it in the form of name of particular month? What would I do? So in that case, you won't be using this function. What I can do is I can write the orders date over here. So I'll be using this orders date column. Now, when you're using this, you will see that it is giving us some suggestions that do you want to extract the date out of it, day, month, month number, quarter, quarter number, or year. So we will be using these functions one by one. Let's say if you want to extract the date, so you will write dot date over here and press enter. You can see it is trying to extract the complete date. So whatever date is over here, it is trying to convert it in the form of this numerical date timestamp. Then let's look at the other one. Here we are having the day function. Now what this day will do is it will try to extract the day out of it. So you can see it is again working as the day function which we were using in ahead of this. So you can use any of these. Then after that, we have the month, which would be basically used to extract the month name out of it. So over here, the data was of December, April, November. So it is trying to extract those in the form of the month name. If you want to extract the month in the form of number, so instead of month, you will be using month number and press enter. So it is extracting it in the form of the month number. In a similar way, we have the other functions of it as well. We have the quarter, quarter number, and the year. So let's look at the quarter first. If we talk about the quarter, it is trying to extract it in the form of the text fields. For example, December falls in the last quarter, that is the fourth quarter. So it is giving me the value as quarter 4. Then April falls in the second quarter, so it is giving me the value as second quarter. Now imagine if you want to find out all the sales that happen in first quarter. So for that, what you can do is you can click over here and you can then filter the values based on quarter 1. So I will select quarter 1 over here and click on OK. And then I will have the results only for the first quarter. This is how you can filter your values. Now, after you have done this, I will just remove the filter for now so that it can show all the filter values. We are also having some other functions over here. For example, if you want to not see it in the form of text, you can also use the quarter number over here, and also you can use the year function to extract the year out of it. After these date functions, we also have some functions which are basically used to extract the hour, months, and second from a specific date. For example, right now, let's say I'm taking today's date. So what I'll do is I will create a test column over here. So let's name it as today's date. Over here in the function, I just have to write today and hit enter. And it would give you today's date. Now, after it has used this date to form any difference between two dates. For example, let's say that you want to find out when was the last order shipped or when was the specific order shipped. You can use this date to take out the date difference from this shipping date also, or the order date also, whichever is your need. For example, if you want to find out what is the time right now and the date right now. So instead of today, what you would do is you will use the function now. So let me use now function and press enter. You can see it has extracted the date as well as it has extracted the time. Now, after it is showing you this value, right now we also have this timestamp over here. So what you can do is you can use this timestamp to extract the hours, the minutes, and the seconds also. For that, what I'll do is I will again create a new column. And now let's name this column time column. Now let's say if you want to extract the hours out of it. So what you will do is you will write R, and out of which column you want to extract this. So I will be using it to extract from today's date. So that today's date is in the orders table. And here it is. I will close this bracket and press enter. You can see it has extracted the hours out of it. Now let's say after extracting the hour, I want to extract the minute. So instead of hour, I will write minute. Press enter. It has extracted the minute out of it. And you can see this time. So right now it is set as per my system's time. Now this value can be changed as the system time changes, and as the data refreshes, it would try to change. So let's say if I'm working on it after a minute value will change. For example, let's run this again. So right now the value is coming as 3. Let's try to run it again. Or let's maybe refresh the data. So I will click on refresh. After the value has been refreshed, you can see the value in the time column as well as the today's date column changes over here. Now, if you want to extract the seconds out of it, instead of minute, what you will write is second. And in this way, you can use the hour, minute, and second function in Power BI. After using this function, let's talk about some other functions like date difference. In that case, what you would do is you need some columns which are having the date information, the two date information columns. Right now, I'm having the shipping date and the order date with me. So first of all, I will delete these two columns for now. Let's create new column. I want to give the name of this column as the days it took to ship. So days to ship. Then I need to find out the date difference. So I will use the function of DATEDIFF. After you do that, it would give you a suggestion that you need to enter date 1, date 2, as well as the interval in which you find if you want to find the difference. So for date 1, I'll be using the order date. So I will write orders date over here, comma. In date 2, I will write the shipping date. So I will write ship date over here, comma. Then it would ask me in what form do you want to give the interval. So I want to find the interval in terms of the days it took to ship. So over here in interval, I will select day and then I will close the bracket and hit enter. Now you can find out that this particular order took 1 day to ship. The other order took 0 days to ship. And similarly, we have the orders and the days it took to ship. Now what you can do is you can select this and you can try to sort these values also. So let me sort it in the descending way. After that, you can see that the maximum days it took to ship an order was 7. It didn't took more than 7 days for an order to ship. Now, again, you can clear this sort. Now, let's say that you want to find out how much time ago was this order shipped from now, from today's value. In that case, what you can do is again, you can click on the new column. You can write DATEDIFF function over here. The first value you will provide as the shipping date, comma, the next value you can provide as today. So you can see how I am using the DEX functions inside of a DEX function. So I am using multiple DEX functions over here. The first one is the DATEDIFF. The second one is the today. And this is the beauty of the DEX functions. You can use multiple DEX functions inside of DEX functions along with the other DEX functions, just like we do it in the MS Excel. After you do this, the column name I will say days ago the order was shipped. It is very big name. We don't advise to use this big name. I'm just providing it for our example. You won't be keeping the name of a column this long. I will press enter and you can easily find out that this particular order was shipped 4,546 days ago. And in a similar way, you can try to find out how much ago was a particular order shipped. Now, let's say if you want to find out what was the most recent order. Now, since this data is from 2011 to 2014, I know the recent orders would be from 31st December 2014 maybe. But still, I want to find out the recently placed order. If you're not having any clue about the complete data, in that case, what would you do? You will go in this column, click over here, and you will use sort ascending. When you will use the sort ascending, you will find the latest order. So this particular order was placed 3,420 days ago. So I also have some data of 7 January 2015 because the order dates are till 31st December 2014. But since we also took some shipping time, that's why we have this shipping data also, which is much ahead of this order data. So you can find out the most recent orders from there and also the oldest orders from this particular portion. So this was all for the date and time function. You can also use the functions like addition of dates, subtraction of dates if you want to manipulate these texts, and also subtract or add some values out of here. In the next session, we'll be talking about some of the information function. Thank you.